Let's begin. What was the name of Moses' sister and brother? Warriors for Christ. This person gave their mantle to Elijah. Sorry. It was passed, so it goes over to Warriors for Christ. And the brother? Pass? Alright. So that we pass that question. Their question now. This person gave their mantle to Elisha.
Elijah.
Correct. Christian warriors. Warriors for Christ, sorry. What did God create on the first day? Incorrect. Warriors for Christ. Correct. Warriors for Christ. What was the name of Jacob's brother? No, Warriors for Christ. We throw that question out since young warriors answered in the middle of their question. So we go over now to young Christians. Where can you find the 10 Commandments in the Old Testament? Correct. Warriors for Christ. Which book of the Bible can you find? Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. Incorrect. Young warriors, young Christian soldiers. Correct. Young Christian soldiers, what does rabbi translated to mean? Pass. Warriors for Christ, what does rabbi translate to mean? Incorrect. Teacher. Warriors for Christ, what does Messiah translate to mean? Pass. Incorrect. Young Christian soldiers, what does Messiah translate to mean? Incorrect. The Christ. Young warriors, young Christian soldiers, sorry. This person did not see death. Pass. Warriors for Christ, this person did not see death.
Pass.
Pass. Elijah or Enoch. Warriors for Christ, who was taken up into a whirlwind? Judges? We'll continue with Warriors for Christ. What was the name of David's first wife? Pass. Time. And I'll continue with the remaining questions. So you give me 2 more minutes on the clock. We move over now to young Christian soldiers. What was the name of David's first wife? Pass. Young Christian soldiers, we're still with you. This prophet speaks about the valley of dry bones. Pass. We move the question over to Warriors for Christ. This prophet speaks about the valley of dry bones. Pass. We continue with you, Warriors for Christ. Which book do you find? For the wage of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. Incorrect. Romans. Alright, we go over now to young Christian soldiers. What are the first 5 books of the Old Testament called? First 5 of the Old Testament. Move the question over to Warriors for Christ. What are the first 5 books of the Old Testament? Incorrect. Pentateuch. We go over to young Christian soldiers. Spell the word Deuteronomy.
D-U-E.
Incorrect. We turn the question over to Warriors for Christ. Spell the word Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy. D-E-U-T-R.
Incorrect. It's D-E-U-T-E-R-O-N-O-M-Y. We are still with you. Warriors for Christ. Spell the word Ecclesiastes.
Right.
Okay. We have come to the end of our first section. Put your hands together for the teams. Alright. We will be moving into our second section of the quiz. Now this section is a speed section. Teams will receive alternate 1-minute periods to answer as many questions as possible. Teams are awarded 1 point. 1 point for each. 4 points and 4 minutes in all.
4 minutes?
Right. Yes. No.
4 sections.
It's 2 1-minute sections each. A total of 4 minutes. Right. So teams will receive 1 alternate minute to answer as many questions as possible. Teams are awarded 1 point for each correct answer. No points will be lost in this section. At the end of the section, each point should have received at least 2 minutes for each side. Alright. Judges, which side do we continue with? Okay.
Ready?
Left.
Listen, wait.
So give you some time to collect your thoughts. Alright? Timekeeper? Yes. Now we begin with young Christian soldiers. Now remember, you are required to answer as many questions as possible. If you do not know the answer to the question, you may say pass and we continue. After Judas hanged himself, who did the Lord fell upon to become one of the disciples? What was Jesus' first miracle?
He turned water into wine.
Correct. For how long did women have the issue of blood?
12 years.
Correct. Who said these words? Thou art the Christ, Son of the living God.
Pass.
How long did Jesus fast for in the wilderness?
40 days and 40 nights.
Correct. True or false? In 1 Kings, there was only one set of builders that built Solomon's temple.
False.
Correct. Who climbed a sycamore tree to see Jesus Christ?
Zacharias.
Incorrect. Why did Abraham call his wife Eve?
Pass.
Isaiah told someone to set his house in order, for he shall surely die. What was this person's name?
Pass.
Into what animal did God cast demons into? Time. Now we move to the first minute for Warriors for Christ. Can I begin? How many pieces of silver did Judas betray Jesus for?
10 pieces of silver.
Correct. For how long did the man sat by the pool?
3 days.
Incorrect. 38 years. Who said these words? Can anything good come out of Nazareth?
Pass.
What was the name of Lazarus' two sisters?
Mary and Martha.
Correct. Who brought the children of Israel out of Egypt?
Moses.
Correct. True or false? The stone that was used to build the temple in first King was expensive.
True.
Correct. How was Stephen killed?
It was stoned.
Correct. In which book of the New Testament do you find the Lord Jesus Christ?
Matthew.
Correct. How many more years did God add to Hezekiah's life after he prayed to God?
23 years.
Incorrect. 15 years. What animal said God said he will not give to us if we ask for a fish? I repeat, what animal God said he will not give to us if we ask for a fish?
Time.
And the answer for that is serpent. Alright. Now to the second minute for young Christian soldiers. I begin. What two Old Testament books are named for women?
Luke and Esther.
Yes, correct. What is the greatest commandment? Pardon? Incorrect. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and your mind. Who wrote the first 4 books of the New Testament? It's incomplete. Alright. We'll get back to that. Which prophet and cousin of the Lord were beheaded?
John the Baptist.
Correct. Who rested all night with the Lord and was left without permanently? Alright. End of your second and final minute. We'll now move into the second and final minute for young Warriors for Christ. Sorry. I begin. Who are the major prophets?
Elijah.
Incorrect. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. What is the second greatest commandment?
Worship.
Incorrect. Love your neighbor as yourself. Who wrote the first 5 books of the Old Testament? Who was the first person to see the risen Lord? Come on, speed it up. What did the Lord do just before the Last Supper to demonstrate his love and humility? Huh? What is the root of all kinds of evil?
Money. Love of money.
Yes, correct. Which cupbearer?
Minute.
End? Okay. We come to the end of section 2, the speed section. And Warriors for Christ just finished their second and final minute. We will now move into the speed buzzer section, where questions will be thrown out. Now, this section is has a 10-minute duration.
Please use the mic.
This section is a 10-minute duration. Teams get the opportunity to answer as many questions as time allows, but only after pressing the buzzer and after being identified by the quiz master. Each correct answer values 2 points. However, teams will lose 2 points if the answer is incorrect or if a response is not forthcoming. I repeat, you answer only after you are identified. Alright, we are going into our speed section. I begin. Who was the virgin that was sought to bring heat to King David?
Abishai.
Yes. Once I look at you, I identify you. Right. Pardon? Yes. Repeat the name for me. Abishai. Okay, correct. How many men did Adonijah choose to run before him? Warriors for Christ?
50.
Judge? Incorrect one come first, okay. What was the name of Solomon's mother? Who first? Okay, young Christian soldiers? Incorrect. Bathsheba. For how many years did Solomon build the house?
7 years.
Incorrect. Words for Christ, 13 years. David reigned over Israel 40 years. He spent 33. Words for Christ.
He spent 33 years in Jerusalem.
The answer is incorrect. I did not finish the question. Let me finish the question. David reigned over Israel 40 years. He spent 33 of those years in Jerusalem. Where did he spend the next 7 years? The answer is Hebron. Who was Banea's father? Words for Christ? Correct. Name the three that King David called before him in 1 Kings 1 verse 22. Name the 3 kings that David called before him. Warrior, young Christian soldiers?
Bathsheba, Neta, and Benaiah.
Incorrect. The answer is Zodak the priest, Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah. Solomon rode an animal which belonged to King David. Words for Christ?
Mule.
Correct. On David's deathbed, he implored Solomon to show kindness to a tribe of people. Who was this tribe? In what city was David buried? Correct. Correct. In what did Bathsheba request of King Solomon regarding Adonijah? What, young Christian soldiers?
Requested to have Abishai. She requested.
Mike.
Use the mic.
She requested for Adonijah to have Abishai the Shunammite to wife.
Correct. Who killed Adonijah? Young Christian soldiers?
Benaiah.
Correct. Who did King Solomon told not to pass beyond a certain brook? Warriors for Christ? Correct. What was the name of the brook and what would happen? Warriors?
Book of Harbour. And what would happen is that if she was passed, it would be killed.
Correct. Solomon offered how many burnt offering upon the altar? Warriors?
1,000.
Correct. What did God say to Solomon in a dream? Warriors?
If he obeyed him, he will give him.
Incorrect. Ask what I shall give it thee. What were the 2 things Solomon did after?
Wisdom and an understanding heart.
Incorrect. What were the 2 things Solomon did after he awoke from the dream? Come to Jerusalem and offer burnt offering. Give a 4-letter word which begin with which means the same as affinity. Ask it the question. What instrument was Solomon about to use to divide the child? Yeah?
A sword.
Correct. At what hour of the night did one woman took the other woman's son?
Midnight.
Correct. How many officers did Solomon have over Israel? Young?
12.
Correct. According to 1 Kings 5, Hiram was of where? Warriors?
King of Tyre.
Correct. What virtue is Solomon known for?
Wisdom.
Correct. Who was the person in charge of labor force? True or false? There were only one set of builders that built Solomon's temple.
False.
Warriors? Correct. The labor force consists of 30,000 men.
Time ago, people.
Could you hold the time for me, please, timekeeper?
First,